We're doing anime. I'm doing anime Cyber Dragons. I'm starting to calm down the lighting a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. We are playing. We're doing anime Cyber Dragons. So anyways, just do the comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and we just get your file set up. I have been doing some tweaks, and you'll see what I have done. Third, if you haven't played anime format, basically it's basically a singleton format where one card is at one copy. But some cards there's some cards that are free. Like basically are free copies of Cyber Dragon. Now the reason why Cyber Dragon is that free because of Cyber and Direct, because of Cyber Twin and Cyber End. Now the reason why Cyber Twin Cyber Twin requires 2 Cyber Dragons. Cyber End requires 3. Now, if there was a Cyber Dragon, and if they didn't require that, we would not be seeing this full playset. This would already be at 1. Play 1 copy of Core. One copy of Hers. Core is basically the best normal summon deck. Hers is your graveyard / main deck searcher for the Cyber Dragons. Core has search for any cyber spells. And we do tend to use his graveyard effect, but we only rarely use it. And Nocturne can become level. Hers can become level 5. We rarely use that. The only time we ever use level 5 effect is basically if you want to go into some synchro plays. We play 1 copy of Noxter. Noxter helps bring back our Cyber monster has 21 attack or 21 defense. And you can basically you can spell summon this card by basically starring 1 monster from your hand to spell summon this. But if you do tend to use this effect to spell summon on 1 machine from the trick, you are basically locked into spell summon machines. We then play 1 copy of Veer. Veer is basically just here for Ash, Blossom, and this is normally the main Cyber Core. But since this is basically we are locked to this main Cyber Dragons, we decided to add a little bit more Cyber cards. Dry is just here basically for level 5 boost. See more for the level 5 synchro play. But he does have a good balance effect, which we can do with our Cybernet Overflow to protect our Cyber Dragons from card effects. Cannot be destroyed by card effects, or battle or card effects, which we could do. It's really good. We play a single copy of Sly. Sly is just here to help us with Cyber stuff, and he gives us extra attack. And for last Cyber Dragons, we play 1 copy of Proto. Proto is just here for more Cyber Dragon monsters. That's why it can become Cyber Dragon if you show a spell and you can start it on the field. I mean, it's kind of considered great. This is basically the slightly upgraded version of Portal, but different. Portal is considered Dragon on the field. And that's pretty much it for all the Cyber Dragons. For Cyber Darks, 1 Horn, 1 Cyber Dark Chimera. I mean, Chimera basically there's a 3 different types. There's actually 3 tiers: A tier, B tier, and Legend tier. Core is part of the B tier, and we're gonna play 5 B tier cards and 3 A tier cards. Legend card, if you want to play Legend, you can't play A tier. If you want to play A tier, you can't play Legend. Play 1 Chimera. Chimera is part of the 2nd B tier. and basically you can summon one Cyberdeck monster from your, if it's in the graveyard, you summon a monster from your Cyberdeck monster from your deck to the graveyard, and he can easily have you search Power Bond, and he basically makes Power Bond overload fusion, which is really fun. We have one copy of Cyberdeck Cannon. Cannon is really good. Basically gives you full barrel effect, and we can basically if its card was destroyed when it was equipped, we could draw one card and one card only. And Claw starts our Cyberdeck Cannon Cyberdeck machines. Play one copy of Cyberdeck Claw. Claw is just here. Claw is here for base. Claw lets us search for a Cyber spell, so we basically search Cyber Dark spell, so we can basically search a searcher. And when he's equipped, he's basically extra Fool's Barrel for the extra deck. So if you want to, you could run Elder Entity Miss, but I haven't checked out what tier Elder Entity misses it. Leave it up to you. And when this card is destroyed while equipped, you can basically add one Cyber Dark monster from your graveyard to your hand. Play one copy of Horn. Horn, one copy of Edge, and one copy of Keel. Basically, all the 3 guns are good. They all have the same effect where they can DC equip a level 3 Lord Dragon with a normal summon. Their battle effect is basically they can detach the equip card and they don't get destroyed, but you still take damage, which kind of sucks. But they have separate effects. Horn can do piercing. This is really good because I have some cool cards side deck for that. Edge can attack directly, but attacks get cut in half. So it's good. And Keel does burn damage. Basically, if you destroy the monster, your opponent takes 300. It's just as you guys, since we're playing a lot of light machines, we added Cyber Elfany. Basically, Cyber Elfany is basically a Zeus, but different. You don't destroy spells and traps. Basically, it's just a basic Zeus effect where you destroy all monster fields except for it, and it gains, you basically bans all the lights in your graveyard, then you wipe the whole field, and it's times by 500 or how many, depending on how many light machine monsters you use. He really hits this guy pretty high. We play one copy of Attached Sovereign. He is just here to basically be equipped, and he basically works as our Monster Reborn for our Cyber machines and our dragons. He also just gains 600 tech. Okay. We play one copy of Pharaoh's. Pharaoh's here just for another fusion. He's basically basically a polymer. He's no machine monster. And if our machine monsters happen to be destroyed, we can be search Power Bomb. Play one copy of to secure storage ring Kaiju if you have to work through a big pair. And for our tuner is basically Feral Duro. The reason why we're only having this card in, because we don't have that much, because we can't I would love to add Dragon Buster, but I cannot because Dragon Buster is lesson. Then I'll take out the free nature cards I have in this deck. So that's pretty much it. That's it for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. For the spells, we play one copy of Cyber Mercy. This gets our Cyber Dragon monsters and our Cyber Elfany, because Cyber Elfany, you search one light machine, it cannot be normal summons, last set, or our Cyber Dragon monster. Your deck, add to your hand, and this card will be destroyed by a card back before activation. You can basically discard one card. You basically discard one card from your hand and add this card back to your hand. Negate it by your opponent's card effect and send to the graveyard. Yep. Just do that. We play one copy of Repair Bank. Repair Bank is so good because basically we can easily get add a light machine to hand. Easily, if you have Cyber Engraved, we can easily add a light machine to hand, or add one, or reshuffle one back to deck. Or if we have free, we can do both effects. This is really cool. Play one copy of Cyber Dark Inferno. Inferno is basically just here to protect our monsters, and it helps us search. search some good fusion spell. It's like a full place up. Poly. We copy the Poly. Poly's at free because you're locked into fuse it. You can't play Link, Xyz, or Pendulum. Only Synchro and Fusion are in. So Poly is the real reason why it's at free. So Stardark Throw could be Surtec, because Stardark Throw is basically you protect your Stardark monsters from targeting effects and destroying effects right from your opponent. What this card can also do is basically you basically target one Stardark monster you control, bounce it back to your hand, and you can choose to re-normal summon it. So basically, if you want to do the cannon route, you can basically normal him. Then you use the card, bounce him back, to chain one him, chain two cannon, draw one because you haven't equipped it. And if this card was stored by the opponent's card effect, you can search Poly or your fusion spell. What's the other fusion spells we play is Cyberlow Fusion, which gives just some cards, and the last fusion spell is Overload Fusion. This is the card that can be searched by this, which is really good. It helps us a lot. Play one copy of Cyberdark Impact. We only play this because we do tend to make Cyberdark Dragon a lot, but we do tend to make them sometimes. We play one copy of Cybernetic Horizon. That's really good. We usually send our Sovereign Dragon Grave. We send two Cyberscenes or two Dragons to the yard. I'll search for a Cyberscene or Dragon and add to our hand. And if all goes through, we can send one monster from our extra grave, which will normally be our one Cyberscene from our deck from our extra to the graveyard, which is normally be our Siren Dragon. But after we use this, we're locked to only special summon machines for next deck, which doesn't bar us for the same with the Nocturne one. It doesn't bar us unless you know this is our fourth beta card. It doesn't for beta card. It doesn't really bar us because we are basically locked into machines and we mostly play machines. For the final beta card, for the fourth beta card, we play one copy of Realm. This is search our Cyberdark monsters. We can search a searcher, or we'll search another. So another searcher, or it can search us. Sure. It also gives us a free normal summon Stardarks, and plus it gives them their anime effect, which basically, if we know if someone a Cyberdark monster has the equip effect, we can equip from either graveyard. So one copy of Cyber Eternal. Don't hear about that. Cyber Eternal basically are so Cyber seeing the monster be born for his deck. Basically, but basically we can bring back any monster with Cyber monster from the graveyard, ignoring summoning distance. You know, so that you have to properly summon the monster first. It kind of sucks, but basically, yeah, you have to properly summon the monster and easy search. For the last of the Cyber spells, technically it's not a Cyber spell, but we play one card via Evolution Burst. The Evolution Burst is just here basically for big, heavy back row poppers. The only downside with her is Cyber Dragon cannot attack this turn. That means all monsters that become a Cyber Dragon on the field cannot attack. For the rest of the fusion spells, play one copy of Power Wand. We have so many ways. We have two ways to Power Wand. I wish I could put this up too, but I can't. For a final fusion spell and our final beta card, one copy of Super Party. These Super Party here for the Super Party targets we play. Really good. Play one copy of Call Battery, just in case to get safe from hand traps. One copy of Machine Dupe, which is really good for our Cyber Dragons, because basically this is a special summon. Our Cyber since the monster. Sorry. Monsters that are under 500 attack or less. You can target one machine monster with 500 attack or less. You can special summon 2 copies of it. It's core because Cyber Dragon and Herd. Monster. Those main free. We can special summon multiple Cyber Dragons. Unless we get Imperm, which is to play 1 copy of Limit Rule is just here for OTK. And for the last spells, play 1 copy of Pot Avarice. Pot Avarice is here basically for our draw cards. You can basically play Pot of Greed in this format, but I don't own Pot of Greed, and then take out a B tier card, sadly. For Pot Avarice, we still back 5 monsters and draw 2. Another great card. The fact is, we also have a way to recycle this card, which is really cool. So that's it for the monster spells. Do the trash. The way how we recycle our Pot Avarice is our copy of Jar of Avarice. Jar of Avarice is basically our another draw card we play. It's basically stuff back 5 cards instead of 5 monsters. We search back 5 cards and draw 1. It basically gets some of our cards at 2. Game of popped. It puts a lot of cards at 2. You just draw 1. But we cannot. But basically, you only have 1 castle. That turns it. We play 1 copy of Cybernetic Overflow. This is the way we can get the bans effect, or my opponent bans it for me, which is really cool. Basically, if this card basically you can ban Cybernetic with different levels. From your hand, field, or graveyard, then you can pop non-target, destroy that many cards. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can add 1 cyber spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Which you can do, because some of the cards I have in the side deck help do that. But yeah. Basically, you can search a searcher. You play 1 copy of Cyberdark Emblazon. Really cool. You can basically equip from a dragon or a machine from either graveyard. And gain a Fountain attack. That's the first effect because you only use 1 effect per turn. Or we can use a second effect where we basically detach 1 monster, one equipped monster. One monster is equipped to a machine monster. Target 1. We can basically then we destroy target 1. Oh, it doesn't target. We destroy 1 card on the field. 1 card on the field your opponent controls, and it does not target. You're going to have to fuck off the turn. Play 1 copy of Necrofusion. Necrofusion just here for fusion spells. The only downside we have to worry about is that it basically puts them face down. But we hardly have to worry about that. Now that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. For the extra deck, we play 1 copy of Cyberdark Dragon. Our first 8 card. Cyberdark Dragon base. He gains 500. He can basically requires 1 Cyber Dragon or 1 Cyber Dragon and 1 Cyberdark Dragon, which you can do, but it's really up to you how you want to bring it on. Or 1 Cyberdark, 1 level 10 or less Cyberdark fusion monster equipped it with Cyber M. Right. It's really cool if we do you can special straight from the deck. We do tend to do a lot. You can revive the Cyber Turtle, but as long as you properly summon it first. So it is a Cyber Machine. But basically what this card does is basically if you cook 1 monster from either graveyard, and that's any monster, we put to the card, and we basically don't gain attack, sadly. You know, Cyber Dark monsters do. This basically can attack up the number of times of every Cyber Dark monster. Every monster. Equipped card it has equipped to him. Really fun. We play 1 copy of Cyber Darkness Dragon, the only level 10 Cyber Dark Dragon. Basically, what he can do, he is basically our level. But he requires 5 Cyber Dragon monsters, but it's really hard to make now because it's a singleton format, and this is basically the reason why. And he's basically, you can do a film is basically one missing or from your graveyard. Then he gains that monster's attack, was basically just like a normal Cyber Dragon monster. Then you get the quick effect where you can basically negate the effect of a card, and it does see this card or effect. Each opponent activates a card or effect. Quick effect, you can send one equipped card from your you control to the graveyard. Negate the activates, and if you do, destroy it, which is really cool. Pretty fun to do. Play one copy of Cyber Dark Dragon. You do tend to make this, but basically he gains 1,000 attack. He acquires Cyber Horn, Edge, and Keel. Start with Cyber Impact, so shuffle back those monsters. Basically, you don't run out in a brick. But we're decking in deck of 44, so but you do have to go into a brick. We can pick that. Basically, gains the same attack. You equip any higher dragon now. Dragon from one dragon from your graveyard to this card is any high level this time, and it gains that attack. And for every monster in your graveyard, he gains 100 attack, which is really cool. It's actually kind of fun. And he basically has the same effect where he can basically detach to protect him in battle. Really fun. Yep. Play one copy of Siren. Siren is basically just, we do make this, but not all the time. He's mainly just here for Horizon. But he does piercing, so if we want to go for more piercing combo, we can. Play one copy of Twin. Twin is basically helps us with OTK, and these are the reason why we play him play Siren for free, because we're allowed to. And Twin can attack twice. Play one copy of Rampage, our second 8-tier card. What Rampage does basically gives us a. See, he's our spell trap. He basically requires one. He requires two Cyber Dragon monsters. Actually, two or more Cyber Dragon monsters, basically. And depending on how many Cyber Dragon monsters you use for this summon, you can pull up that many spells and slash traps on the field. Then you can send two things here to attack 3 times. This is really cool. And plus, he is also a level 5, so you can go for a synchro play with that if you want to. We play one Chimeritic Overdragon. Overdragon is kind of neat. We do tend to make him, but not, it's rare. But what he basically does is grab one Cyber Dragon as many scenes as possible. Basically does he gains them number. Gains their attack times by 100, depending on how many scenes you use from. Hear him, and depending on how many opponents depending on how many cards you use for its summon, and depending on how many monsters your opponent controls, he can attack that many times. So if your opponent controls 3 monsters, he can only attack 3 times. So it really depends on how many monsters you control, or monsters you use for the summon, and how many monsters your opponent controls. And when this card is summoned, your field gets wiped. Your whole field gets wiped. Not your opponent's, Sally. If it did, then this would be like another Zeus for me. And it gains the attack times by 100, depending on the amount of materials used for the summon. We play one copy of Chimeritic Fortress. Fortress is really powerful. Basically, state of Cyber Dragons. You have to get our power. To equip monster from ECU cards. Transfer as many machines as possible. You don't use it cannot be used as freeze material, which is kind of sucks. But basically, You don't need his polymerization. He's basically you can fuse him from either field using the monsters from both fields. So you got like, since there's no extra deck zone, you have total of 10 monsters you can fuse off of technically. If you get their combos right. And you gain attack times by 1,000, which is really cool. Play one copy of Jason Tyke. I have never played this card before, but basically what he does for is super poly target. You can go for him per target. If you want another Cyber Dragon super poly target, you could run Eltony, but I don't own Eltony yet, but I would add adding to this deck. He's just here for basically, if I'm going up against a dragon, but it's a dinosaur player. He's a dino player. He basically does, he gains attack depending on the monster's attack. So the highest attack monster you have on your, so you see one machine plus one down. Machine monster, one down. You can basically do is, depending on the highest attack monster you have, the highest attacker he has, you see probably that. And basically, you get a high monster. So depending on how much attack your monster has, and the other card you use, some this card had, it gains that much attack. This is really cool, fun. For the last machine card we play is one copy of Invoke Mechaba. You can use him as a super poly card because we do play a lot of lights. And he is basically negate to basically a copy of Cosmic Cyclone, but you send the same card at your opponent plays. So you send so your opponent plays a spell, you can send a spell. Spell you are to ban it. Same with a trap and a monster, but it also negates the effects. Cool, and we can actually monster reborn this one. Same with, we basically use an Noxter can actually monster brings back because they have 21 defense. Same thing with Rampage and Twin. They both have 21 defense. Pretty cool. We play one copy of Titanclad, the Dragon, which is just here for basically Fallen Albaz play. Basically for if we're running against Branded, because Branded was one is the meta deck in this format. Pretty cool. He basically gains attack depending on the level. So basically Albaz is level 4, or depending on if you have to use a monster at basically becomes Albaz, you can make it a higher level. And depending on the level you use for its monster. The highest since the highest level is 12. And normally it's 4. You can easily get a total of 1,600 attack points. You could with this card is unaffected all extra monster effects. It can be destroyed. Cannot be. It's unaffected all extra monster effects. So that's pretty cool. Play one copy of Starving Venom Dragon. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. It's basically here for super poly targets because dark is the best, one of the best attributes in the format. Where you can basically just use him for basically really good target. And he gains attack due to the highest monster. If your opponent has a level 5 or higher special summon monster, he gains that attack for one turn on. And if this card is destroyed by a card effect, send to your yard, he is basically a Raigeki. Really fun. You play one copy of Predaplanet Dragos Stupelia. We can make this without Super Poly. We do use our Necrofuser for that. But it's really up to you. And basically, he is basically you can play. If your opponent activates a card, with her you can quick effect target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Negate the place one player counter. Negate its effects. It becomes level 2. No, you can only target level 2 or higher because it gets straight down. It becomes level 1. You can only use you can get the predator counter is negated permanent. So as long as the predator counter on the card is negated. Play one copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword. The reason why I play this is we play a lot of dragons, and if you really want to get technically crazy with this card, you can throw in a copy of Reaper Judgment. It makes you make all your monsters. And from either graveyard you can get. So if you have to go it's dragon player, or you have to get a cop having to put in Reaper Judgment to the deck, highly recommend. You can basically get this monster so many attack. Basically, what it does is basically it can basically you don't never summon this card. Basically, uses grave effect. We use this equip effect. Basically, you can equip. Basically, use equip effect. When it's equipped to a monster, your monster gains 1,000 attack. And for every dragon on the field, from either field or either graveyard, you gain 500 attack. So basically, yeah, it's really cool. We would love to summon this, but we don't own the Claw Hero Mouse. It requires one Claw, the Claw Hero Mouse, and one dragon. Pretty fun. We're done incriminated, but we don't really need to make him. We play one cop, and for our last card, first you want to summon these two. We play one copy of Muddy Mud Dragon. Basically, he is just here to basically be our monsters for become. Like he is like a Elemental Hero Prisma. He could be a Sour End Dragon or Sour Dark Dragon, or he can also be one of the Sour Dark monsters. One Sour Dark he is Horner Keel, or he can also be Sour Dragon. Or he can be Invoke, Mechaba, or he can be LS. It could basically be any of that. This is level 6, so you can basically get LS from 12. So you can basically get up to 1,800. You can 1,800 tech points for Titan Class, which is really cool. That's if your monster says 15 months. Let's get into the side deck. Side deck is a little bit weird. It's basically for funny business. We play one copy of Wizard Buster Destruction Sword. He is just here to basically negate the graveyard, because a lot of decks use graveyard. So we play one copy of Ancient Gear Golem. Ancient Gear Golem is just here for our piercing time. So if you want to go piercing mode, you can just go piercing mode. So you can use Sour End, Horn, and this card, and plus you copy a Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, and Starlight Serial Move. What these used to do is basically what Book of Moon does is you target one monster on the field. No, target one monster on the field. Flip it face down. Book of Eclipse basically flips all monsters face down. And during the end phase, whoever monster flip down, you can draw one card. And your opponent draws one card. Dally. And this card basically gives us basically we can flip one monster face down or flip one monster face up. The face up attack or flip the face down defense, which is really fun. So basically this tells us for our piercing battle effect, we play one copy of White Elephant Gift. This is just here for our normal monster if we want to get more draw power. For us. Play one copy of Twin Twister. Twin Twister is just here for basically for drawing spells and trap. For back rule, because we cannot play Heartbeat Twister. Technically you can, but that's part of B tier. So we worked around it by playing Twister, Caustic Cyclone, which we do play, and Dust Tornado. This is a fun one. Basically, you start one card your opponent controls. Start a card, then you can basically reset a card. You can set one spell or trap from. set one card from your hand. You need to reset if you want to. Bring one copy of the Sea Kaiju. He is basically just here for the water water lock, because I have been facing the standard, but I haven't yet to believe this. But you also play one copy of the Dust Kaiju. He is just here for Flunder, which you could play Treaty Proof, but basically it really depends on how you really want to do this. We could play Master of Restrict if you really want to, basically get through that. Play one copy of Monster basically this is Monster Rezone, if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Basically you score one card, and you add one monster from your graveyard to your hand, and basically this is basically our Monster Reborn. If you need to get more monsters from your graveyard out. Play one copy of Banis from a different dimension. Basically you can target 3 Banis monster and resurrect them to the graveyard. It basically means we can basically get back, and does it say, and this is 3 Banis monsters for target up to 3 Banis monsters to resurrect them to the graveyard. This doesn't say face down. This doesn't say face up. We can technically target the face down. It's really cool. And for last but not least, we play one copy of Warning Point. Warning Point is just here basically just in the gates. And that's it for the deck. If you want some hand testing, yeah. But if you want to add Warning Point, which you actually are going to be, if you want to be, because I actually just it's still Warning Point. It's still Warning Point. We're gonna go Master Restrict. The only downside is you cannot know something is to help us stuff. They cannot our opponent can treat someone, which is really fun. But the only downside for us is with that is basically we cannot treat summon Siren, which we rarely ever do. Or ace, or you cannot play ace to go like get out your random bug. Sorry about that, there's a random bug still in the camera. About that. But yeah, this is a Double Flunder and also Trinity decks. And that's it for the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoy the deck. I'm gonna have so much fun playing this for tournaments. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. There will be a hand test of this deck. It's coming up soon, so don't miss it. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.